Hi, this is Heather, and I have my friend here, Monica from Suki Designs, and today we are going to talk about sewing patterns and how to use your measurements and if you... Nobody fits in the perfect box of all the measurements. So we have multiple patterns. We have, this is an indie pattern. This is the, what's the dress called? The tea house dress. And then we have other big four patterns that we're going to talk about because I think it's important to know the difference in these patterns. Even though this is a paper pattern, the tea house dress, it is still made by an independent designer and not by like a big parent company. But anyway, so we're going to talk about patterns and how it works. So Monica has made one. Well, you make clothes for your kids.
Yes.
But
you don't have to worry about sizing.
Yes. And they're kind of
they're easy.
Tubular.
Yes.
So it's a little easier to fit them.
Yes. Yes.
And so she has come, she wants to start sewing clothes for herself. And so I've made every mistake in the book possible. So we're going to talk about it, and we're going to learn a little bit about patterns. So her first question is, how do I choose my size? So what you do is you're going to measure, and I'm not going to go into it in the video because it's basically a whole nother video itself. Measuring is a whole nother beast. But I will say, it doesn't matter what your numbers are. It matters that you know what they are, because you need to get an accurate measurement, but this is an arbitrary number, so don't pretend it's smaller or larger. Right. It's just, you need the accurate measurement so you can get a really well-fitting garment. And just remember that the number, it doesn't mean anything, it's just a number. So, should we start with yours?
Sure.
So her measurements fell into 3 different sizes.
Thank you, 5 children.
Yes. A size for her bust, a size for her waist, and a size for her hip. And this is really common, and it's I don't even think it goes with if you're a shape or not a shape.
Right.
It's just that we're not, like a normal, we just don't fit into...
We're human.
Yeah, and we don't fit into this arbitrary box. So, it really depends on what your pattern, your sewing, what you're sewing. Because if it's fitted all over, then you really need to get the exact... you need to make your pattern fit your exact measurements. But this is kind of a looser, what do you call it? So I grabbed a pattern really fast. This is a coat pattern. This is the Peppernoot coat, and it is kind of a slim look, with a fitted waist. But I don't remember what size I made, but the bust had 5 inches of ease, and that is what you, on a coat, you want it to be wider because you're wearing something like a bulky sweater underneath, and you want to have that room underneath. But when you're looking at something like this, a shirt, or fitted overalls, even fitted pants or a fitted shirt, you don't want a ton of ease. You want it to fit pretty...
More to your form.
Yeah, more to your form. So when we're looking at this dress and I'm helping her pick a size, we're looking at the bust measurement, and then we're going to look at the finished garment measurement of the bust and see what the ease is. So for a size for the bust, the finished garment measurements of the bust, it's 6 inches of ease. And for a dress, that's kind of a lot. That's more than a coat. But part of that ease is in the sleeve, it's a dolman sleeve, and it is kind of a dropped armpit. I don't even know how to say that. I don't know the technical term. So that is okay if you have a little more ease depending on the style of the garment. But when you have something with darts and it's fitted, you want 1 to 2 inches of ease. Yeah. So when we're looking at this, and she says she's in multiple sizes, she asked, should she cut out the largest size?
Right.
And because that would make sense. If I'm looking at 3 different sizes, I will pick the largest one. But
so that it'll fit.
yes, the trick is that you look at the style of the garment, and if it's really fitted, then you're going to have to do a lot of alterations. This one is looser, and you cinch it in with the waist, like the tie around the waist. And so I suggested that she make her bust measurement, use her bust measurement to choose her size, because I don't think that her hips will be a problem because it's an A-line dress. She'll have a lot of room there. Mm-hmm. And I think the waist is large because it has to go over her head. And then we'll add the tie. The tie is what cinches it in and gives you that nice shape. Yeah. So I think for this specific pattern, it's okay if she just goes by her bust measurement to choose her whole size. But like if I'm making these are overalls made out of like stretch fabric, but like ponte or sweatshirt fleece. And those are fabrics that have stretch, but it's not like super stretchy. So I'm going to make it fit my hips are smaller. How do you say that? My hips and my bust are about the same pattern size, but my waist is multiple sizes higher. And so I probably will grade out for the waist on this pattern just so that it isn't super cinched in and tight around my waist, because it would be really uncomfortable. And I don't want it to, I'm sure I would even have popped seams if I made it tight on my waist, because I don't think it would fit, because my waist is larger of a size than my other body measurements. So we're going to talk about grading sizes. What if you have a pattern and you want to grade between sizes? So let's see, does this go all the way up to this is to the waist, or this?
This is just the, this is the waist part. Do you want it?
Yeah, let's get out, I want to look at, is there one, this is the center front.
Yes, and then this is the sleeve, and then it goes all the way down.
Oh, okay. Yes, okay, so this is the side piece.
Yes.
You put that one back, and we'll look at this one. So, we're going to look at this. So let's say that your bust measurement is, I don't even know, is one of these.
Yes.
Let's say that this is your bust measurement, this third line. And then you needed space in your waist, and let's say you wanted more space in your hips also. So I would choose, I need this size, and then I would come out, I wonder if this is your, no, this is your waist. Nope. This might be your waist. I don't know where the waist is on this pattern. So it's like, if I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to come out to here, this is a wider part of the pattern, then I would just draw a line between there. You might have to curve it slightly, but it's okay to choose different sizes on the same pattern when you're cutting it out. That's how you'll get a really good fit. So that's what you would do. I don't think that you will need that.
Okay.
Because I think that this one at your waist, I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then if you need, because I'm also short, so
yes.
This is too much length for me. It'll be.
So this, you're doing
I'll be
dress
B.
B?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yes.
so this is the top part. This is the middle dress.
Mm-hmm. So I want it to be my knee.
So she measured from her back, like her backbone right at her neck, down to how far she wanted it, and then she compared it to the finished garment length of the dress, and it's too long. Mm-hmm. So she would cut her size right here, and then this says lengthen or shorten here, and then so she would take this pattern, and let's say she needed it shortened 1 inch, then she would go up. But remember that, like, this is being shortened in this, so this is, so it's like 2.
You have to add them both together.
Yes. Okay. So if it's 1 inch, it would be like ½ inch that she would go up. And then she would kind of have to redraw this line to get, because you want the width at the hem of the like original design, and then go up to where. So when I have weird proportions, but I always need length just at my waist, but not other places. And so I will cut it and I will separate it, and I use like tissue paper, like you use like from a birthday gift. And
That's a good idea, 'cause you have to
then
add.
I'll separate it and tape it on and draw how much I need, and then tape it back on. So that's how I add
That's a great
length.
idea.
Well,
Yeah.
and who doesn't have extra birthday
Tissue paper
you know?
lying around, yes.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Let's see. What other questions? If you have any other questions about like fitting patterns, this is kind of brief because I'm not like drawing it out and I'm showing it to you, but I'm trying to give you an idea of just kind of where to start and how to grade between patterns, because I don't know of anyone who doesn't grade or doesn't lengthen or shorten their patterns. Everyone alters at some point, and that's
Yes.
like super normal. It's really good skills to learn and to have.
And plus it makes your finished garment look like perfect.
Right,
For
it
your
looks
body.
like, yes.
It looked like
Right.
it was perfectly made for you because it was. So
Yeah,
that's
and
nice.
that's the difference of like not buying it at the store, because
Uh-huh.
it wasn't made for your body.
Right.
It was, you
made
know,
for everyone.
yes, which
And not everybody fits within those parameters.
Right. So jackets, you'll need more ease. It's usually, I think your bust, if you want it fitted, it's like 1 to 2 inches of ease. Your waist, oh, actually, your bust might be 2 to 3 inches. I can't remember. And your waist is 1 to 2 inches, and I think your hips is 2 to 3. I do know if you are larger in one area, then when you're measuring, they recommend like you're measuring and then sit down. Sometimes it will change your measurements, especially like
Yeah.
my
Your stomach relaxes.
Yes. Yeah, and that's, you want to get it so it's comfortable. You don't want it to be so tight and only fit you when you're standing.
Sitting
That when
up.
you sit
That would
down,
be
you're like,
uncomfortable.
I can't sit. Right.
That would be awesome.
You want it to be comfortable, because
Yes.
if you make it, you want to wear it all the time.
Yes, especially after putting in all that work.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. It's worth it to do the pattern alterations so that you'll love your garment. I think a lot of my mistakes I made when I first started sewing was because I didn't alter. And I didn't know how. So a lot of, did I mention Big 4 patterns have a lot of ease? Did I mention that? Okay. So Big 4 patterns have a lot of ease. And when I was starting out, I just would make my straight size of my measurements, and I never looked at finished garment measurements. It's really hard to say that. And so it always came out really large, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, and it doesn't fit well, and it doesn't look good.
Okay, so I just wanted to mention, like on this, when you're doing up here, it tells you your body measurements, and that's what you measure on yourself. And then we'll just take this one, it's 30.5 for the bust, but down here where it says the finished garment measurement, it says 36.5. So you
For the same size.
For the same size. So you
Yes.
have a 6 inch, that's the ease.
Yeah,
right?
that's the ease.
Okay.
So the extra, when the number of the finished garment measurement is larger, the difference between the two measurements is the ease.
Yes.
And you do need ease because you need to move in your clothes. Even like t-shirts are fitted, and like if they're tight, but there's still ease in like the, because the fabric can move and stretch.
Yeah.
So you do want ease. It's not like you want it to exactly fit your body. You wouldn't be able to move. Especially like if you're like if I'm sitting like this, my back is a certain measurement, and then if I do this, it's longer. So you kind of have to take that into account when you're working with it.
Yes.
So you do need to pay attention to the ease, and that's where I think you'll be either have success or not success, is figuring out, do I like a lot of ease or do I want just a little bit of ease?
Yeah.
And it kind of depends on the style.
Right.
Like, these are
You're
fitted
sewing,
pants, but then like a jacket, you want a jacket to be loose. Well, this jacket.
And this one.
Not, I guess
you
if
don't want a
have-
straight jacket.
like the athletic zip-up jackets that are very form-fitting, that is different. That's not, you don't want ease in that one, but this one, when it's loose, you do want
Great.
the ease to move.
And don't be afraid to like cut on the lines, but you don't have to stay on the one dotted line the whole time.
You can go between sizes.
Yes.
I often have to grade out for my waist, and so I'm often either just drawing a straight, you know, when it comes in like this, I just draw a straight line, or, you know, depending on the style. It's okay to choose more than one size.
Yes.
It's actually a good thing if you do that.
Yes.
Because then you'll get what you want and it'll fit you well. So like if someone has broad shoulders, or if you are a pear shape and your hips are larger, then that's how you get, you know, like your thin waist and then your pear shape over your hips. You want it to go thin and then wide. And then it will look like it's made for you.
It's more flat.
And I think if you have a shape or whatever, however you feel, if it fits your body, it won't be so like, oh my gosh, she's a apple or she's a pear or whatever. Because if it fits you, you almost, if the proportions are right, you can't see it. You just look like,
it looks,
yeah. It just like
great.
your eye kind of passes over it without even registering what it is. So, I hope that you learned something new in this video, and I hope that if you have any questions, like ask me, I'd love to help. You can ask questions below about sewing your own clothes. And I hope you like or share this video, and go over to Monica's page, Suki Designs, and go say hi and look at her really cute stuff she makes. And I will talk to you later. Bye.